Stafford, I mean, you can make the argument he's been the best quarterback in the league so far this year. Obviously, he doesn't have the running upside the other guys have, so it's not quite as exciting. But yeah, he's been awesome. The thing is, these guys are matchup proof, man. Like, and Philly runs so much zone, so much match zone too, that like it's basically man coverage with two high safeties, and Devontae Adams and Puka both can beat these guys. If they want to get Adams schemed up looks, good one-on-ones away from Quinyon, they can certainly do that. So he's got a top 5 target share in the league too. It's just the role's just too good. Stafford's too good to really get too concerned with the matchup here, in my opinion.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What is up? Welcome to the Week 3 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. Whether you're on YouTube, the YouTube page, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, or you're listening to the podcast feed late in the week. I am John Hansen, along with a couple of Fields, Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield. I'm sure they're doing wonderfully. So let's get into the Week 3 analysis. We'll cover Miami at Buffalo, even though a lot of people will be listening to this probably after the game. But Dolphins at Bills. Brad, I'll go to you. Do you pull anything out of Week 2 that makes you feel a little bit better about the Miami Dolphins situation at Buffalo? Also, that defense. You want to talk about Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, what a difference here. Week 1, Week 2. What do you think about Miami's chances here tonight or tomorrow night?
No, I'm not feeling positive about this at all. This could be the death nail in the Mike McDaniel coffin if they get blown out here. I mean, it really could be 0-3 start, look bad in all 3 games. That could be problematic for him. This defense is on pace for historic level bad. They're giving up 0.5 EPA per pass play against them right now, which is like, it's hard to be worse than that. And so, I mean,
Storm Duck is hurt too.
What's that?
Duck is hurt, one of the starting corners.
Storm Duck, although I don't know that, a replacement level player is any worse. So,
right, true.
But Dalton Kincaid, Miami's been really soft against tight ends, especially. I kind of like him a lot, but it's, you're probably paying most Bills, I think. At least
Graham,
those for sure.
Your confidence level in Kincaid, I'm still butthurt. And I'm angry that I lost the Hunter Henry prop because of freaking Austin Hooper last week. But, it was a good play. And Kincaid certainly is a pretty good play. Warren absolutely crushed them. But do you trust Dalton Kincaid?
No, never. Okay. Never trust Dalton Kincaid. Liked him a little bit in best ball just because I figured he'd have the spike tweaks. But for redraft, no. He's run a route just on 57% of their dropbacks through 2 games. That's like tight end 25, tight end 26. I mean, it's a great matchup for all the reasons Brett lined up, but no, we can't trust him. And the other thing in this game, guys, I mean, the Bills are implied to score 30 points. Like, they could absolutely smoke Miami and not really have to do a whole lot in the second half, like kind of how that Jets game went. I kind of see this as a similar spot. Like, Allen drops back 25, 26 times. They just smoke him in the first half, and a lot of James Cook, a lot of Allen. I do think this is a really good spot, like good spot for Kincaid, but an awesome spot for Keon Coleman. I mean, Brett was just saying this Dolphins secondary is just so bad. Like, they're giving up the 7th most yards per route run to opposing outside wide receivers. Yeah. So, last week we were saying, hey, probably not a great spot to play Keon. He's like a boomer bust flex.
Right.
Against Sauce Gardner, much better bounce back spot here.
What about Shakir? I actually went in on a prop with him, even though Miami's not giving up much out of the slot, but it's a zone-heavy defense. And, Brett, against zone-heavy defenses, Khalil Shakir gets targeted, it seems like, every week.
Yeah. Part of that's the nature of what he does. Obviously, he's such a short, part of the field player that zone's going to be better for that. So, he hasn't got a ton of design touches yet this year compared to what we're used to seeing. I like last year he had a relatively good floor because of the design stuff. We just haven't really seen it. Yeah. But, and in a game too where Buffalo might not have to work for much. I don't know.
I know. It was like 40 yards.
No,
it's not. He hit 5 for 54 and 6 for 50 in the 2 games, but he barely hit that prop. But I'm thinking we do have a higher total. I mean, there is a chance Miami puts up a fight.
True.
Back to you with Tyreek, Brett. He does do well against zone, which is kind of weird, I guess. Is that a function of he doesn't make big plays anymore? He just gets all these freaking short throws.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way teams are playing him now, it's other than Jacksonville week 1 last year, teams are play them pretty saggy. You're going to get a lot of saggy zone, and so yeah, you're gonna get open crossers in the intermediate level all day long. I think that's true for probably both Waddle and Tyreek. Tyreek's just so good too that he can truly, when he's dialed in, he can beat anything. It doesn't really matter. So Tua probably a better, because of the lack of arm strength and arm talent, he's probably better throwing into zone windows than he is tight man coverage as well. So I do think that favors Tyreek for sure.
There you go. By the way, one of the indicators to me in the summer, and of many, that Miami was in big trouble, the fact that they were seemingly going into the year with Darren Waller. I'm like, what? Like, what? What? I said, like, he's not playing. I don't know anything, but I do know that he's not playing.
They're like that guy in your fantasy league that's like 15th round. They're like, oh crap, I forgot to draft a tight end. Let me see who's out there and just completely punt the position. Like,
oh my God. I feel bad for McDaniel. I had a very hysterical interaction with him before he coached a game at the combine. And I was like, I love this guy. I'm rooting for him, but he's a little too unusual, and I don't think it's going very well. Atlanta at Carolina. I see AJ Terrell may not play, so that's good for Tet potentially. Brett, talk about JC Horn. I don't know if he's traveling, but it seems like he's on the opposing number one, and it seems like he's balling.
Yeah, I don't think he has been traveling, actually. No, he is. Yeah,
he is traveling. Okay. Well, yeah. I did write that with Marvin Harrison last week. I was like, I love Trey McBride. Don't like Marvin Harrison. JC Horn. That worked. Do we look the same way again with Drake London maybe having some trouble, and maybe we look at Kyle Pitts?
I don't know. Are we scared? Are we that scared of JC Horn? I know when he's healthy, he's a good player, but
I will say Pitts does look better.
Pitts, yeah, they got him doing the right stuff now. He's played like 50% out wide last game. So
yeah. What say you, Graham? Anything?
Yeah, I was kind of poo-pooing Pitts a little bit. He is playing in the right role, like Brett's been saying. He's also playing a lot more. He's like tight end too in route participation, so he's fully healthy. I mean, I still think like when, London, Mooney, both those guys were dealing with shoulder injuries, I still think he's the third target here, but he's got a little bit more viability than he has in the last couple seasons. With London, I just want to see more of a ceiling. I mean, he's had like 4 games in the last 3 years where he's finished as a top 12 scoring wide receiver. I mean, he's just like, he's a really good wide receiver too in fantasy. The volume gets him there, but the ceiling is just like, it's pretty low. I mean, it's like the same rate of top 12 games as like Christian Watson in that span. I mean, that's just, I continue to be lower on Drake London. John, switching to this Panthers side, they just lost their 2 best offensive linemen, Robert Hunt, Austin Corbett.
Yep.
Bryce looked really bad in the first half. I thought he pitched a great game in the second half, though. He really kind of turned it on. But this is starting to kind of look scary hours for this Panthers offense, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett. I mean, how do you grade Bryce Young? It seems to me like the improvement is carried over to an extent, but to this year. But the cupboard is bare. I actually wrote trade for Jalen Coker. I mean, you can't dig any deeper than that. But they really need a playmaker here because it's not Leggett.
No, I don't know what's going on with Leggett. He had like negative yards on 4 targets or something.
I mean, Jesus.
And it's pretty crazy actually. So not great. Bryce though, he's back to really not seeing it. He's been a see it throw it guy with the 2 interior offensive linemen going down for the year too. That's really bad for Bryce. He already has trouble seeing over those linemen. It's a funny meme, but it's actually a thing. Guy's 5'9", so he has to basically play that hero ball Caleb Williams style of football right now, and it doesn't work for him.
Right.
So, when that game got into the second half and it was tight, Arizona was playing a lot of saggy coverages and kind of just giving him windows to throw into. Not taking anything away from Bryce. He did play great in the second half, but when the rubber meets the road and he's got tight match or man coverage, I just don't know that he can see it. And that's a bad thing.
Per sources, if you can't see what you're dealing with, it's probably going to be a little bit of a problem. no doubt about it. I can't take watching Kyler Murray anymore. I mean, I can't do it. I mean, it's just we'll get into that, but let's move on to Green Bay at Cleveland. I see. I guess maybe Love might be on the injury report, but I'm a little surprised the total is low. Brad, I'll go to you. Sure seems to me like Love is out there dealing right now. The body language looks pretty good to me. And I think the Browns, you got to block up Myles Garrett, but I remember them giving up a boatload of big plays last year. So I'm wondering maybe could this be a Matthew Golden breakout or another big play by Romeo Doubs perhaps?
Yeah, I think I like Doubs a little bit this week. I think Cleveland's defense has actually been a lot better than people realize. They just gave up 40 to Baltimore, but that was probably the hardest earned 40 Baltimore's had. Flacco helped them a little bit there with that.
They're shutting down the run.
Their run defense is outstanding, and I've never seen such a significant culture change without a change of staff, because they were so bad against the run last year. To be that bad and then turn around and be this good. And actually, right before we started the show, I was watching all of their run defense snaps. It's a team effort. You got rookies making plays, Schlesinger and Mason Graham. Garrett's obviously a beast. It's
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah. It's a really cool turnaround though. So they've been dealing, and then in the past game, they've been middle of the pack as far as like EPA and success rate allowed. So I think I think they'll be okay. They need complementary football. They need the offense to be a little bit better, and I think the defense would probably show on paper a little bit better. But I do like Doubs a little bit in this game though.
Graham, you barking up any of these trees over here in Green Bay, like Doubs or Golden? Tucker Kraft, I think, is squarely in the must-start tight end one conversation, obviously.
Yeah, Kraft is probably the biggest upgrade with the Jaden Reed news, but I'd be trying to send feelers out for Matthew Golden. I think he's looked awesome. They just missed on a huge – they just missed on that huge deep ball last week. I really like this spot for Jordan Love. Like Brett was saying, I mean, the Browns have the best run defense in the NFL right now by yards per carry allowed, by stuff rate. So if that carries over, like they're going to have to pass a little bit more this coming week. And that's a good thing for Jordan Love because he's playing very, very strong football. Just anytime we get him in a game script where he actually has to throw the ball and it's not like 25, 26 dropbacks, it's more like 30, 31, 32. He's going to have a great game for fantasy.
Browns to play a lot of cover one, which Golden and Doubs especially.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Browns are playing the most man coverage in the league at 51%. I've been saying for a couple of years, I mean, Love is one of the best quarterbacks against man. He shredded the Lions man coverage week one. I'm all in on Love.
Matthew Golden's also the current leader in ass so far this season. So
love a great ass.
Yeah, I should have listed Golden as a trade for guy. I forgot to put him in there in the article, but that is definitely a good one. Well, I saw data on Harold Fannin kicking ass against cover two. He's like a tight end from like 1997. And they play a lot of that. So, but otherwise I don't see, I mean, I can't see it with the receivers and Flacco. I just don't see it here, Brett. I will say though, how about Judkins, man? That didn't take long at all. He's the RB1 already.
Yeah, he looks good, man. Obviously, the physicality and the burst just pop on the tape. I think we can work with the vision a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I saw when I would look at him. I actually think I ranked him higher than anybody else because I'm like, this guy. Hey, I'm no film guy, but he really passed my eyeball test.
I mean, by yards created, I had him ahead of Trevion Henderson. I loved him coming out.
Yeah, I did know that, Graham. Yeah, that was.
We were a split house on him because I like Judkins, Scott and Ryan Heath did not. Graham liked Judkins. So, but I think he'll be great for the team. Not a good matchup for him though. Green Bay Packers run defense has also been awesome. They're actually, I think, number 2 right next to the Browns. So,
Graham, would you trade Fannin right now if you needed help somewhere else? Because we're going to get probably multiple quarterback changes here.
That's my worry. I think, especially after watching the Flacco game, we're going to get some Dylan Gabriel pretty soon. I think that's coming.
It's coming. Then we'll probably get some Shador.
If you're good at tight end, like if you just got like somebody boring but productive like Zach Ertz or Juwan Johnson, I think you can kind of just ride that. So that's a good call. If you wanted to get out on Fannin. For Dynasty, though, the arrow is pointed like way up, though.
Way up,
Fannin.
like, I mean, Jesus.
Theo made a great point a couple weeks ago. He was like, I mean, the Browns could trade Njoku, and he's just right. I mean, they could get out of that contract, in which case, like, Fannin is just, he's going to be nails in Dynasty.
They were rumored to be shopping him last year at the deadline.
Yeah, that was the point he made. Yeah.
But they love Njoku. Like, they keep re-signing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if that high ankle injury just zapped his burst last year. Like, he has not looked like the same player.
And he came in a league young too, so I bet you he's still in his 20s. So he's not old.
Yeah.
All right. Well, not expecting much from Cleveland here, but Judkins. Hey, by the way, how about the roll? He caught 3 balls. I mean, if he catches another 2, 3, 4 balls this week, I think that's really good, raising up the floor a little bit, because otherwise he could be an empty calorie guy. He's got 14 carries for 59 yards, doesn't score. Enjoy your 5.9 points. Let's move on to Houston, Jacksonville. Oh, man. This will be a shit show. Let's just be frank about it. Brett, Jag D's actually been somewhat decent. I mean, haven't been a sieve, but where are you with Stroud? It's just still a struggle here. And I don't know. It's still painful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Stroud's been under pressure, 45.3% of dropbacks. Despite that, he's still holding the ball for an eternity. I don't know what it is with this guy. He just can't get out of his own way. You have a bad offense. Ball has to get out quick. I'm really scared, though, about Nico Collins, guys.
Yeah.
His role is not the role that we drafted him at the 1-2 turn for. It's really changed. I've been going back and forth with Scott about this all week, but his average depth of route run is down like 5 yards.
Right.
And specifically those big boy routes that made him awesome, the digs, the ins, the slants, the posts, they're all down like 2.6 yards. The dig is down 5.1 yards. The corner route down 5.2 yards. He's not really running that traditional X receiver route tree anymore. I wonder if some of it is the Earhart-Perkins influence. Well, it could be protection based for sure. The Earhart-Perkins influence too. I think Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, Jacoby Myers, Danny Amendola. They really prioritize those short area mismatches, and then also Christian Kirk being gone.
Yeah.
So my hope is maybe Kirk comes back eventually and Collins goes back to the role he had. But for now, this is scaring me, man. Between the struggles with C.J. Stroud in the offensive line, the fact that he's just not in the same role he was, really, really frightening.
Yeah. I mean, this is how counterintuitive everything is often, Graham, because I would argue that, a month ago that Nico and Brian Thomas slam dunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're talking young alphas, decent enough passing attacks, a big production, like, let's go. Like, no, we're not going. I try my best not to overreact, but Graham, your thoughts on Brian Thomas? I'm ready to sell. I think sometimes you are rewarded by being decisive. Obviously, I'm not going to sell low, sell at all cost, but I am, in fact, as my wife calls me, she doesn't know I'm doing a podcast. I would sell. Your thoughts on Brian Thomas right now?
Yeah, that game this past week was one of the worst games I've seen from a high caliber receiver of his talent level in a very long time. I mean, shying away from contact. There was a ball where Trevor Lawrence threw like a 6-yard in, and it was not a very well thrown ball. Many of Trevor Lawrence's balls are not, but I mean, he just basically stopped on it and it got picked off. There was an end zone target where he quit on it. Obviously he had the 4th and 5 drop, which I love that call. Go for it. Try to end the game there. There's just, I mean, the week 1 game was, in my opinion, all on Lawrence. He ran some nice routes that just the ball sailed on Lawrence and just didn't really get a whole lot of catchable volume. This past week, it was the opposite way. It was just a really poor game. I think they'll figure this out. I mean, the usage has been amazing. I am very concerned. I'm not concerned about Nico. Brett, you're like, that's super interesting points about Nico, but I really think it's like they have 0 answers over the middle. Like, this offense has no and it's Christian Kirk. Like, they're missing that element over the middle, because Stroud, in my opinion, is one of the best quarterbacks at throwing and seeing it over the middle, and they have nothing right now.
That's where Nico's dominated, though. That's my point. Yeah. Intermediate over the middle, and
it'll allow Nico to get back to that X receiver role, like you were saying.
You think it's as simple as Christian Kirk just missing?
Bro, they have nothing. It's like Jalen Noel he's not done anything. They have Xavier Hutchinson out there running crossers. Like, that's just not going to get it done.
Noel must not be ready for prime time.
Yeah. Dalton Schultz is just a zone beater. Like,
I hope you're right. I have so much Nico Collins in both Dynasty and Redraft and Best Ball that it's disgusting. So
right.
I hope you're right.
Oh, no, I hopped aboard. I actually listed him as a target because he got out of round 1. I'm like, oh, Nico Collins at 13 or 12? Forget about it, but wish I did forget about it. Well, that's not as bad as Brian Thomas. But, Graham, I mean, obviously we're not giving him away.
It's a twofold thing with him. It's like he is not that demon player we saw last year. I mean, I was calling him like a Julio clone in terms of his physicality, his run after the catch ability.
Yeah, something's off.
So I told Brett, I think it's that Steelers preseason game. Lawrence threw him a really bad ball over the middle, and he almost got sawed in half. And it's just maybe a confidence thing.
Right.
They'll get it. Brett, he's too talented. Like, he'll get it figured out, but it's a twofold thing. Like, he's not playing that well, and I'm still low on Trevor Lawrence. Like, this guy has just been a what if guy for his entire career.
What about Parker Washington too? This guy is bowling.
I think it's a simple thing with Cohen. Like, Thomas isn't playing that well. They've got Hunter had to play more corner this past week as Jerry and Jones got hurt.
He was also not good at receiver.
Yeah, and he's also he's a rookie struggling out there. They'll get this figured out, and it'll be centered around Thomas and Hunter like we all expected. But for right now, I mean, having to run your pass offense through De'Ami Brown and Britton Strange and Parker, like, that's not going to keep going.
Yeah. Did you see Hunter get bench press to the ground and press?
Yeah. He's a skinny dude. He is a skinny guy.
He's very flimsy, man. He looks tiny out there.
It's a bummer that got put on tape because he's probably going to see press a little bit more now, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Graham, what were your thoughts on Tootin? I mean, he had a couple. I mean, the touchdown was beautiful.
He looks like the guy I loved out of Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was enamored with this guy. He scored extremely well in yards created. Etienne still looks good though. Like, he's got the bell cow-ish role, workhorse-ish, probably more workhorse. 67% of the snaps to Tootin's like 33%. I do think that'll tighten up throughout the course of the season. Like, Tootin's just that good. Like, we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the explosiveness, just he does not really make negative plays either. He's just constantly keeping the legs moving forward. He's obviously a threat to, make any defender miss. I've loved you just have to love what you've seen from him. I think he'll be like a week 8, week 9. We're going to be talking about, putting him in lineups pretty much every single week. Is like this will be a 1A, 1B committee by midseason.
Yards creator, huh? Right?
Yeah, big time.
That's always been my deal. Like, I need yards creator. Create your own offense by making an unblock guy miss, basically. Yep. Cincinnati at Minnesota. I don't even know what to think, Brett.
Yeah,
I'm just holding off on reserving much judgment. It's certainly disconcerting. I will say this as a Vikings fan, obviously it's the ultimate team game. I feel like the team has kind of let us down a little bit. Injuries have been a part of it though. What other team has been as injury prone as the Vikings have been? Have had I don't think any of them. I mean, I looked and I'm like,
the 49ers. The 49ers have been
yeah.
The Lions the last 2 have been bad.
Yeah. But I looked and I'm like, according to my calculations, 7 of their 10 best players have already been hurt or out in 2 weeks. But that's not good. But anywho, no idea what Carson Wentz can do here. It looks like we're going to get Darisaw back. They haven't been able to run the ball. That hurts. So, yeah, it's just worrisome here. Then again, matchup isn't bad here. Brett, Carson Wentz leading the Vikings. At the very least, if he does anything good, I would think it's getting the ball to Hawkinson, who's been dead through the first 2 weeks.
Hawkinson looked rough the other night. Theo and I were trading clips of his route running in our chat, and
what is going on?
He looks like all the athleticism's gone. Is what happened. I don't know. Maybe the ACL just still not fully feeling it. He can't get out of breaks though. It's really strange to see.
But he looked good at the end of the year last year.
He did kind of, yeah. I think a lot of that was dump and run, though. I think he's still good after the catch because he's a physical player, but I do worry that he can't get open the same way he used to. So he might be fancy Dalton Schultz at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not good, man. That's a buzzkill. But anything else for Minnesota? I mean, Graham, what's his face? Mason. Free Mason, I guess. He's going to get 20 carries, 20 in this game. He's going to get 20 carries, I think.
That has to be their plan. Like for
Has
this
to be.
game specifically, like they've, especially with Darisaw back, like they've got to get this run game going, help Carson Wentz out. Kevin O'Connell's offense is probably the most quarterback friendly in the NFL. So if we're looking for, positives for Jefferson and for Hawkinson, there's going to be a lot of obviously timed up rhythm throws for Wentz. But to me, yeah, this run game, like it has to be a focal point. Bengals are not going to be a good run defense all year. I think we kind of all know that. They've been okay to start this season, like just okay. But yeah, this is a great spot for Mason. And there was some positive, like Kevin O'Connell, before he came on, I saw a quote that he was basically saying, yeah, Mason's our bell cow. Like I'm expecting him to be 85% snap player until Aaron Jones comes back.
Brett, what does the Bengal offense look like with Browning? What changes? Fewer downfield throws, more check downs. He'll run a little bit more. Probably all right for Jamar Chase. I don't know about T. Higgins.
Yeah, I think he can sustain Jamar Chase for sure. They probably go to a slightly more run-heavy approach. Browning, ironically, has a very similar play style to Burrow. He's not as good at it, obviously, but for him, it's the turnovers in situational football. Terrible turnovers, really inaccurate on third down. He's got to clean that stuff up. That was the biggest. I know he had a couple really big games the last time he got to play, and was it 2023? But you look at game by game, they only broke 20 points, I think, in one of his starts out of 5 or 6. It's not great. So, like, we need more touchdown production. We need more points. A lot of that is third down efficiency, and just stop turning the ball over, please.
This Burrow injury, though, is, man,
it's like a huge buzzkill. It's one of the biggest buzzkills the last couple of years for sure.
We were just talking off the air about, I'm like, I think I had an epiphany recently, wondering why scoring's down. Yeah, I know, two deep safeties. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Here's why scoring's down. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady retired, and now no more Burrow this year. So it's like, you look at the landscape of quarterbacks. It's like, Baker, who are the pocket guys that you can rely on? It's Goff, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's a little ugly out there. But anywho,
one positive note on Browning, just before we move on. Jake Browning, 2023, got the whatever it was, 7 starts. I mean, he was still top 5 in catchable throw rate. Like, yeah, Brett, you're right. Like the decision making, you saw it in the Jags game. I mean, a few of those throws were like huge head scratchers. He had a pretty high turnover worthy throw rate, but I mean, when he is like throwing within time and rhythm and stuff, like he can get it there. So, I mean, it is a downgrade for Chase and Higgins. We downgraded them this week in the rest of season rankings, but like, it's not like a death knell. It's not like we're going from, like we were talking about earlier, the 2 offense last year to their backups. It's not just, it's not a complete nightmare.
It's also a Jake Browning revenge game. Don't forget that.
Yep.
So
good point. They did cut him.
He's going to be pissed. Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. Brett, I'll go to you. You didn't love Drake May in week 1. What did you think in week 2? Minimal opportunities, but I love the design runs. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I thought, considering he was playing one of the worst secondaries in the league, he was fine. Okay. What do you have, 3 or 4 incompletions the whole game? I mean, they ran the ball effectively. The design runs were cool. He scrambled a little bit as well. I would have hoped for some more big plays, though. I think other than that Ramondre Stevenson play, they didn't really have anything going in the way of big plays. So, but he was fine. He was mostly fine. So, I think that was a positive game for him. No turnovers. I don't think he took any sacks either. So, but man, the Steelers defense has been kind of bad, which is very shocking.
Right. I mean, they're kind of bad, like kind of in everything.
Yeah, that's like they're loaded in the secondary. They're loaded on the D line. You have those 2 things. You have an elite defense, and they're just all underperforming across the board. Their run defense this year has been abysmal, super leaky. They're getting smashed by gap concepts. You saw Breece Hall go off in week 1. You saw Kenneth Walker III go off last week. Kenneth Walker III also left a 59-yard touchdown run on the table. He tripped over MVS's legs.
Oh,
and
wow.
There was literally no one behind him. He was gone. So
was he ripping those runs off of in a gap scheme there?
Yeah, he's been mostly gap. Charbonnet's been mostly zone. I mean, it's not exclusive to one guy, but yeah, mostly gap and then mostly.
But that makes sense given their styles, I would think.
I think it's the opposite. I was surprised that Walker was not the outside. I mean, he can do both, obviously.
Right, he can do both.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it last week. For me, I was in Graham's corner. I'm like, yeah, use that burst and acceleration for zone and stretching the defense out and then getting those cutback lanes. But he's also kind of blind. So vision's not good with Kenneth Walker. So I think
that's
the
it.
gap scheme's just like, cool.
Exactly.
We will run duo and Trey, give you a gap, you go get downhill and hit it, and we'll just take the guesswork out of it for you. I think that
was my point.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Brett, about Pittsburgh's running game, because I like Jalen Warren as a pick, and we're doing all right, and they're talking about using him in a passing game. And B, I did not like Caleb Johnson as a prospect, but I'm telling you, I feel like the Steelers are not going to make it out of the season unless they get like some foundational running attack to support Rodgers. And I'm sure that's what their plan was with Caleb Johnson. Any thoughts there? Like, are we getting through a whole year if we don't get contributions from Caleb Johnson? I just don't see it.
I think as of right now, this is somewhat a joke, but I think Caleb Johnson's closer to getting cut than he is closer to getting playing time.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, it almost, I hate to, bury the kid already. It almost seems like a missed pick. I mean, just he looked bad in the preseason, making mental errors every single time he's on the field is not great. Seahawks defense is nasty, though. I wouldn't take a lot of that. I think they'll be able to run the football against most teams. The Seahawks defense is gross. I mean, they are loaded all over the place. I think they're going to give teams fits all year long. So, the 14 for 48 from Jalen Warren, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I think Jalen Warren will be fine in the long run.
All right, Graham, any thoughts on Warren? Is it a buy, sell, hold right now for you?
Yeah, he's a hold. I think if you draft him in round 9, you've got to be pretty thrilled. I mean, it's still, last week was kind of the same thing. Ken Gainwell ran more routes. That is a good, it's good positive coach speak, good positive vibes from Aaron Rodgers saying like, hey, we got to get this guy going in the passing game. Yeah, Caleb Johnson just looks like a mega bust. I mean, I hard faded him in fantasy this year. Made no sense that he was going round 6, round 7.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
And I mean, Warren's playing well. They've got Gainwell in this kind of change of pace, pass down heavy role. Like, I don't really see a role for Caleb Johnson this season.
Well, I'm just saying my opinion. I don't think we're making it a whole year with Jalen Warren and Ken Gainwell.
Yeah, that's the way he gets on the field, is if Warren, gets hurt.
Maybe they make a trade if he's that bad. Maybe they make some sort of trade or something. But all right, well, and Brett, it doesn't seem to me like Aaron Rodgers is playing that well over 2 games.
I thought he played really good week 1. Week 2, he had probably the throw of the week. A little rollout to his right, hit an absolute bomb downfield to
Freiermuth.
Yeah, Freiermuth.
He dropped it.
Well, he did miss Austin, and I lost a prop, so I could be bitter.
Yeah, Freiermuth dropped it, but it was the throw of the week. It's hit or miss. I mean, I think he looks like he wants to run the offense the way Arthur's calling it, which is a positive.
That's good. Yeah.
In the short part of the field, he's throwing the ball accurately. It's the mobility is really the issue.
Teams
really that can pressure him are going to give him, like Seahawks have so many great pressure packages and sim pressure looks, and that's just going to give a guy like Rodgers fits right now. So. Again, I wouldn't take too much away from that Seattle game. That defense is really, really special.
New England's, they might get Gonzalez back.
Yep, they will. It seems like he's going to play.
So that will be on DK, right?
I'm not sure if, first game back off a hamstring, I'm not sure they'll want to travel him, but
sure.
It's huge for their defense because they have not been good in the secondary to start this year.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers and Tyreek crushed them. I might actually go back to Austin if I needed a little upside. I think Rodgers missed him on a big play that I was envisioning. I remember I saw the camera. He was pissed at himself because it was there. And Graham, back to you on the tight end thing. It, again, not to be overly simplistic, but it does in fact seem like Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth are in fact canceling each other out.
They are. And the big problem with Jonnu is he's not running enough routes. It's kind of like the Dalton Kincaid corollary. Like, he's been at 55% of the snaps.
Right.
And, when he's on the field, he does get the design targets, but that's just not nearly enough participation to be a fantasy viable player.
Let's move on to the LA Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. And Brett, you and I had a discussion about Devontae Adams. I mean, look, it's a tough matchup, tougher than usual for Puka and Adams. Puka can see a lot of DeJean at times. Adams could see Quinyon Mitchell, but you still like Adams. He does look awesome. And how does Stafford look? Seems like he looks perfectly fine.
Stafford, I mean, you can make the argument he's been the best quarterback in the league so far this year. Obviously, he doesn't have the running upside the other guys have, so it's not quite as exciting. But
Right.
he's been awesome. The thing is, these guys are matchup proof, man. Like, and Philly runs so much zone, so much match zone too, that like it's basically man coverage with two high safeties, and Devontae Adams and Puka both can beat these guys. So
Yeah.
they're giving up the 9th most production to outside wide receivers too, and Quinyon doesn't travel on top of that. So I think if they want to get Adams schemed up looks, I'm not saying design targets. I'm just saying good one-on-ones away from Quinyon. They can certainly do that. So he's got a top 5 target share in the league too. It's just the role's just too good. Stafford's too good to really get too concerned with the matchup here, in my opinion.
I mean, this is a little bit of a cheat code, Graham, in terms of what I just said earlier about these crappy quarterbacks who run. Well, you got Matt Stafford, and you have a passing tree that's like it's got 2 branches, basically, and so you have arguably the best pocket passer in football throwing to just 2 guys who are really good. So yeah, I guess when we think of it that way, they could probably do it against anyone.
Yeah, this was my entire argument for Devontae Adams. I was saying, like, I want this guy on every single one of my teams this year, and it's because, like, one, I have a ton of trust in Stafford. 2, Sean McVay is just, like, the ultimate rational head coach. Like, let's just throw to our good players and ignore everybody else. And then 3, like, Adams was still awesome last year, and he looks even better to my eye this year. Like, our separation metrics love him. Like, he is out there cooking right now. Like, Puka's
he was cooking. Sorry.
Yeah. Puka, like with Chase losing Burrow, Lamb has Pickens. Like, I think Puka probably pushes for the wide receiver 1 this season, like overall in fantasy, but Adams will probably finish as like wide receiver 8 or 9. There's the volume is so good, and Stafford is playing at such a high level. Matchup of the week, Puka Nacua versus Cooper DeJean. Brett, did you see Cooper DeJean just like absolutely wrecking Marquise Brown last week? Like he like pushed him over in one man-to-man rep. It was hilarious.
He had like a running start to line of scrimmage, and Brown was like slow to get out of his release, and he literally just chucked him on the ground.
It's hilarious.
And ran and covered somebody else. It was pretty funny.
The Eagles, somebody's got to put a stop to this. I mean, this is truly absurd. It's 2025. Here's that stat I gave you guys. I'm going to start calling these guys the leatherheads because right now Jalen Hurts is on pace to throw. I know it's only 2 games, but he's on pace to throw for 2,023 yards, which is 142 yards shy of Sid Luckman's league-leading number from 1943.
Wartime football right there, John.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're bringing it back to 1943,
Yeah. The 40s here, mid 40s, not even late 40s.
I was hopeful last week the Chiefs would push them, John, but like that didn't happen. Obviously, the Rams can push them. They can. So if there's one, like for this week specifically, Hurts has 24 dropbacks in back-to-back games. Like, maybe this is a good spot for it to get up to like 30, 31. But I mean, this is 2 years now. This is the way they play. Does not matter.
I mean, how much of it do we look at it? And maybe I'm a Nick Sirianni hater because he does baffle me. I got the worst vibes of all time from this guy, but he's got a Super Bowl ring and 2 appearances, Brett, your thoughts on this whole phenomenon? Because like when you look at it, it's like year 1, you had Steichen, they were fine. Year 2, they had Steichen, they were fine. Year 3, they didn't have Steichen, they died.
Yeah.
Year 4, they had Kellen Moore, they were fine. Year 5, they don't have anybody, and they're dying with their passing game. So, I mean, is this a trend?
Yeah, it trends when Sirianni gets to hire one of his bros to be the OC. We don't do too well. So that for sure a little scary. And to be fair, they did start bad last year. Remember AJ Brown and Devontae both missed time. I think everyone officially buried Jalen Hurts as, that era being over, and then boom.
Yep.
They came back in the second half roaring, and I think Hurts was better because of it. But yeah, this is ugly. I mean, this reminds me of Brian Johnson. Even the stuff, like even when they do pass, it's like they're back to not having answers for like basic,
It's game better be open.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I put Jalen Hurts as a sell. I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore. I know he's going to run for like 27 touchdowns on the ground, but I don't want to go. That's no fun to me.
No. Well, and it's frustrating when the tush push is now fake. Like they have guys jumping early on every one. Like there was 3 in a row last game.
Right.
It's like until we figure that out, like they're incentivizing the Eagles just to keep running it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Graham, any thoughts on Philly just in general or in this matchup? Otherwise, I guess Dallas Goedert might play. Because by the way, because Dallas Goedert's like the one in this new offense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a play. I think Calcaterra blew a block that would have allowed Hurts to get a deep ball. I think it was to AJ Brown. Rams play a ton of cover 3. That's like their base shell is cover 3. So yeah, I mean, it'll probably be a lot like week 1 where it's going to be a lot of underneath to Dallas Goedert.
Although the Rams have also been a little vulnerable on the outside too. I guess maybe not as much this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to play as much one high in this spot though. I mean, with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, that's for sure. Right. They'll probably play a little more too high.
Brett, let me go back to you. I'm sure you noticed it, but your guy Blake Corum played early in the game. I think Blake Corum looks really good this year, and they have been talking about working in a second back. I thought that was going to be Jarquez Hunter, but he's got like 1 snap, so maybe it is Blake Corum. Your thoughts on Corum?
No, I mean, I almost like tripped and fell down when I saw Corum on the field. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I wasn't expecting to see that. So he does look good. He looks explosive. Something Kyren Williams is not. So
yeah, I mean, that's been my contention. If you get, I'm a little bit of a Kyren hater. I'll admit it.
Graham's a Kyren lover. So let's
you are a Kyren lover. But I mean, if you get Kyren Williams at his best and Blake Corum at his best, 300 touches in this offense, go. Who does better?
I mean, my whole point with Kyren is that I don't think he's that great of a running back. I just love this role and the touchdown that he scores. And that is a concern moving forward. Sean McVay this past week was saying, yeah, we kind of want this to be Kyren 2/3, Corum the other third. And, you know, Kyren still got 19 touches this past week, but Corum got the cleanup drive and scored the touchdown there. It is a little bit of a concern for Kyren. And this is a great run defense, obviously. So, you know, we're a little down on Kyren this week.
And also Kyren doesn't catch a lot of balls.
Yeah, that's just this offense, though. I mean, the Rams, they just don't design anything to their running backs.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if Corum's going to get some short yardage, goal line love, that's not good. Let's move on next to the Jets and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Well, geez, I mean, Baker Mayfield I'm so impressed by Baker Mayfield. I mean, he may not have been great in week 1, but I mean, this guy he's just got it. I love the injury and then the dude was talking crap and then he just popped right back up during that game. But Bucky Irving, man, Brett, he looked tremendous. But how about my guy Rashad? I mean, I did say, do not doubt this guy in his final year of his rookie deal. I know he's just going to get maybe some table scraps, but I mean, Rachaad White never ran that hard. I mean, he was angry out there, man. I loved it. So any thoughts on that running game?
John, I think we talked about it last year. I think since Bucky took his job, he's been running way harder in general. Yeah, they both look good. And I thought the pace of the rotation that they had going was excellent as well, where it was just they were mixing in both of them steadily. And, you know, it still teeters way in Bucky Irving's favor, obviously. But
right.
He looks awesome. Rashad, I think, in that role could be very good. So, but yeah, Baker, to your point on him, he's awesome. I mean, he is so good.
It's just awesome.
Top 5, top 6 QB for my money. So I'm a big Baker
guy. Graham, if you had Bucky, I mean, I'm telling you, if I had Bucky, I would be doing everything I could. I got to get Rashad, because what happens if Bucky goes down? Rashad is going to crush.
Yeah, we'd get some Sean Tucker, but it'd probably be heavy, like 70-30 Rashad. He does look, this is the best he's looked, and to my eye, in his entire career, in his 4-year career.
Yeah.
Bucky, though, he's just not losing this job. He is such a creative, shifty runner.
Yeah, he really is.
He is just so quick. This offense, you know, I got to say, like, we had some concerns going from Cohen to Grizzard. Obviously, it was an in-house hire.
Yeah.
To my eye, I mean, it kind of looks like it's the same offense. Good. It seems like Grizzard knows the offense extremely well. Not a whole lot has really changed. And Mika Egbuka has obviously just kind of stepped into that role as their number 2. Mike Evans has been awesome, though. Obviously, Stingley had him on a couple of reps. Evans got him on a couple of reps, but this is another tough matchup for Evans here. Unfortunately, he's had 3 tough ones to start his season.
Yep.
But he still looks good.
And he's got a tougher one. Well, maybe not against Philly, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think Sauce is fully back. Like, he had a really rough year last year, but Sauce looks nice to start this season. So another pretty damn good spot for Emeka Egbuka. He's like pretty much must start at this point.
I will say about that, I saw Michael Carter was questionable because that would help. But Brett, they are going to be, if Tristan Wirfs can't return, Gedeke's out. So they'll be without their 2 starting tackles.
Yeah. That's the big concern. But Baker has proven that he doesn't care. He's just going to get it done. I kind of like, this is a little gross, I like Sterling Shepard in this game. The Jets have been getting murdered from the slot all season so far. It was kind of like that last year too. Guess what? It was also a trademark when Aaron Glenn was the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. They would get murdered in the slot as well. So they've given up 245 yards to the slot already this season, which is that's kind of nutty.
Good.
That's a boost for Egbuka too. I mean, he's been like 40% in the slot. Shepard's obviously their primary.
I didn't realize Egbuka had been that high in the slot.
It's like 40% to Shepard's, I think 50%. So
right, yeah.
Okay.
I actually played a Shepard prop on Monday night over 21.5, and my Monday night special was Shepard 40 yards or more plus 265. He just missed it, so he looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's still out there balling and playing well, especially after all the injuries he's had.
Oh, it was I love Shepard. He was like my favorite guy that year. I love Shepard. I'm like, I love this guy. And hanging in there. Well, not hanging in there are the Jets. I don't even know what to say. I guess we'll get a better play than with Tyrod, Brett. I mean, how do you wrap your head around Justin Fields? I know he got hurt, but how do you wrap your head around week 1 Justin Fields against Pittsburgh versus week 2? I guess one of the things you do is you look at week 1 and say, oh, that's right, Steelers D kind of stinks right now.
Yeah, that helps. Also, Justin Fields has done this to me so many times. I'm never falling for it again.
Yeah.
Where I'm out and then I'm back in, then I'm out, then I'm back in. I'm just not. For fantasy, he's great when he's on the field because he runs, but I'm not doing it. 3
box
for
of chocolates.
Yeah, man. It's Bills are their coverage unit, their secondary is really good, and they give you a lot of wrinkles in there too. And I just think it slows down the processing a little bit for them. They should be more consistent with Tyrod. They're going to miss the big play element that Fields gives them for sure.
Graham, what in the wide world of sports are you doing with Breece Hall, and what are your expectations, and where the hell are you with Breece?
Yeah, they just got debacled last week. They barely had the ball. I think I looked this up before Fields got hurt. The time of possession was like 40 minutes to the Bills and like 16, maybe 15 minutes for the Jets. So, I mean, they obviously, didn't really do much in the pass game, and then the run game got shut down too. Bucs have played awesome run defense to start this season. 3rd fewest yards per carry. Only the Packers and Browns are giving up fewer yards per carry. So, I mean, kind of a similar spot to last week. They're going into Tampa, big road dogs. The volume has to be there. I continue to say Braylon Allen is not good at football. I think Isaiah Davis will be better. I would love to see more of Isaiah Davis, honestly, playing over Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
But for right now, I mean, because Braylon Allen is just, I don't think very good, like Breece is locked in, like to pretty strong, not bell cow, but workhorse workload. And I think that's what you have to hang your hat on this week. Like, Jets probably going to lose, tough run defense, but volume should be okay.
Like to see some more targets. I mean, it's only 2 games, but
well, like I said, they just didn't have the ball in the last game. Literally just did not have the football. So
4 in week 1. He did rip off a long one there, 38 yards and 2 grabs. Let's move on. Also, anything on Garrett Wilson? I mean, he probably catch like 9 balls in this game, right? Against like a zone D.
Yeah, the entire pass offense will absolutely just flow through him like it has been. And Tyrod is certainly capable of spinning it still.
Let's go to Indy at Tennessee. Brett, I saw your little clip there on the your podcast talking Danny Dimes, as I said, and Graham can attest. I've always been a Danny Dimes guy. I'm a Danny Dimes guy, and I had a long conversation, not to go off on a tangent, but I actually had, believe it or not, I had dinner once with AJ Feely. It was like a dinner party, and his wife, Heather Mitz, the soccer. But I literally talked to AJ Feely the whole time about quarterback play, and he was telling me about Sam Bradford, and he was just explaining like all the things that can go wrong. And, there's like hundreds of things that could go wrong, but and a guy like Daniel Jones doesn't seem to handle it when they do go wrong or when he does have an issue. But when you put him in a good environment, it's pretty remarkable right now with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, man. I mean, this was the main contention all offseason for me. Is like we had never seen him with this environment, and so I expected him to play better. There also needs to be a conversation about QB development and how long it takes, and it's not the same for everyone. And this is not the first time. I mean, Baker Mayfield's a reclamation project at this point. Sam Darnold, like there's been a lot of guys that are high pedigree picks.
Yeah, I'm real sorry to cut you off. I think it's embarrassing that the league has all these guys. It's embarrassing. It's like, guys, you're the one who drafted Sam Darnold. You gotta invest some time in the guy.
Yeah, it's a combination of guys coming from college schemes that don't work in the NFL. So it does take time to rebuild that, mentally. And then too, just the pressure to win is so extreme. If you have a guy who can't do it for you right now, you're on the hook for that. And so, you draft a guy like Daniel Jones, he doesn't work out. Well, either we keep playing him and get fired, or we move on fast. And it's unfortunate. I bet you the same thing happens with Anthony Richardson. He'll play his best ball for another team, It's just what Jared Goff's another one. Like really high ups to start his career, then really low lows with LA, goes to Detroit, completely resurfaces as a good quarterback. So there's so many of these guys right now. I just think I know people are skeptical of what's going on there, but I'm really not. And on that point, I love Josh Downs this week.
Wow.
So Titans giving up a lot to the slot. I know we've been underwhelmed by what Downs has done so far, but Titans can't cover the slot. And I think this is the week for Downs to get going.
I agree. I thought he looked awesome against the Broncos last week, kind of looking really, really quick in and out of his breaks. I think that hamstring injury is what really kind of set him back week one. He's still a part-time player though. Like it's still Pierce and Pittman, but yeah, I'm with you on Downs. I don't think he's completely dead. Like it's Tyler Warren's passing offense. Let's be very clear. Like this is a Tyler Warren centric passing offense, but I'm with you on Downs. For this game, man, like Jonathan Taylor, y'all, is looking like an absolute league winner. It's
so good.
Thank God, Daniel Jones has really picked up this offense. Brett, your point on Jones and Richardson, like it's all, well taken. This Colts passing offense, though, is just like Steichen builds a very quarterback friendly offense. And my entire point with JT is like, what if Daniel Jones is like 5%, 10% upgrade, and it turned out he's like a 50 to 100% upgrade? It's just like a huge. So, I mean, at this point, like JT, when they're favored, is just like a huge smash. He's averaged over 140 rushing yards per game as a favorite over the last 2 years. And once again, they're favored again on the road, divisional matchup. But like, I think Jonathan Taylor is just, he's set up so well for the rest of the season. It's looking awesome.
Graham, he looks like Johnny Taylor circa like 2022.
Yeah. This is the rookie last year, Wisconsin Jonathan Taylor, fully healthy, beast mode. Like
he won the rushing title in what, 21?
Yeah, 21.
So that's where he's at. I mean, listen, guys, I don't do a lot of offseason fantasy takes, but I picked John Taylor. I said he was the best second-round pick you could make. I picked him to win the rushing title this year, so I've been all in. I love what I'm seeing. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, it's great. No, in my draft plan article, I literally said Jonathan Taylor's the key to kind of everything.
We pumped him up hard. I was all over it too. We were all over JT.
Because it's like I want a stud running back and a stud wide receiver. Guess what? Yeah. The only way that I see doing it is to take a wide receiver, then Jonathan Taylor.
Puka JT, if you started that way, holy cow.
Yep. I have a lot of teams with Puka JT. It looks pretty good right now. Well, Brett, I've been wanting to ask you all week about Calvin Ridley. What have you seen?
Yeah.
I've always been labeled a Calvin Ridley hater, so I don't think he looks great.
Yeah.
He's not as explosive.
Yeah, I've seen that too. He always had that like kind of twitchiness about him, and it,
I mean, he
right
did
at
in camp. I heard from people said he's electrifying in camp.
yeah, he's always kind of looked twitchy to me, like kind of quick in and out of his breaks, but he does look a step slower to me.
Yeah, I think he's in and out of his breaks is fine. It's the burst after he gets out of the break that's missing. Doesn't have that ability to separate right away like he used to. So he has to win in the break phase, or else he's not really winning. I think Alec Ayumanor's role already is evident of that too. I get week 1 they had Surtain versus Ridley and he put him in a box. That's fine.
Oh, for sure.
Week 2 it continued where Alec was tied with Ridley for targets and outproduced him. So
he is available in 96% of Yahoo leagues right now. I was looking at that this morning. He should be owned in even shallow 10, 12 team leagues. So I'm with you on that.
For sure. I mean, there are 147 viable wide receivers on the board here or at our disposal, but among, excluding the proven go-to guys, let's say there's 85 non-proven young receivers. Out of that group, Aymanor is like top 3 in terms of opportunity.
I mean, for a rookie to play this much this early and earn this many targets this early, I guess I'm just seeing it as like, if Brett and I are kind of saying, hey, like Ridley looks, I mean, he's fine, but he looks like he's lost a little bit of a step. Like I could see week 8, week 9, this passing offense being like mainly Io Manor is their one.
Yeah. Which is scary. I mean, I had Io Manor on my list all year, but I also had Ridley. I like Ridley. I definitely like Ridley. So a lot of that was intel that I got from a couple of people who were at training camp said he's looking really good and blah, blah, blah. We'll see. At least he improved from week 1 to week 2. So it wasn't a lost cause. And there's nothing else going on here in tennis. I mean, can we just stop with Chiggy Okonkwo? Just stop. It's Gunnar Helm time.
Yeah,
Let's
I want
go.
to see Gunnar Helm too. I liked him coming out.
And the Raiders are at the Commanders. Graham, I'll go to you. It doesn't look good for Jaden Daniels here. I don't know about, I guess he's not practicing today and not going to practice tomorrow. I think he's going to miss the game. I say domo arigato, Mr. Marcus Mariota. Thank you very much.
Well done.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he'll play either. The spread is telling us that too. It's down to 3.5 Commanders. If it were Daniels, they would be touchdown, maybe 7-8 point favorites in this spot. I mean, if you're in need of a quarterback this week, I mean, Mariota is a pretty good streamer. He was okay in his 2 games, 6 quarters of relief work last year. He went 33 of 41, 366 yards, had 4 touchdowns. He also ran a little bit, John, 16 for 90 and touchdowns. So we always know Mariota can kind of extend plays to keep the same, not to the same level of Daniels, of course, in terms of the design runs, but he can kind of run the same-ish offense with the RPOs and all that stuff, and the built-in kind of move the pocket type throws. It's a downgrade for Debo and McLaurin for sure. I mean, you just take 3, 4, 5 points off their team total. I like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt this week, though. I'm in. Like, this guy looks fantastic. Looks like he's got the burst. Looks like he's got kind of quick cut ability. I still question his upside in the passing game, but just purely as a runner, I watched all of his carries 2 nights ago, and he's got it. Very decisive.
What he has is what Brian Robinson didn't have.
Yeah, exactly right. Robinson is like a workman, like just kind of volume back. Krosky-Merritt can take the volume, and he's got that explosive ability. He's just a lot more elusive than Brian Robinson. The question though just becomes like what Cliff does with this backfield. Like it'll probably be annoying amount of Jerry McNichols in the pass game. Probably see a little Chris Rodriguez, but yeah, I'm in on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, especially in the spot. Raiders' run defense is not going to be good this year.
Chase Edmonds now in the mix there. Didn't he play for Cliff?
Yes, he did. Yeah, good recall with Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if he can pretty much take the Eckler role. Brett, anything on Terry McLaurin still rounding into form? Any concerns here? I mean, it's only 2 games.
He doesn't look great so far.
Yeah.
We'll say that for sure. It looks like he missed all of camp.
Yeah. That was my concern, man. It's like he's awesome. Like he's a baller, but like you miss all of August, all of the installs, all those reps. And now he's playing with a backup quarterback he hasn't caught balls from all year. So it's not great.
It's gonna be you're right.
He'll be fine by midseason, but like to start this year, it's the same thing we saw with CeeDee Lamb. I mean, Lamb got off to a really slow start last year.
You're right, Graham. This is a big time. This JCM. This JCM time right here in this game. But Brett, is it Genty time? I thought Genty looked better last week. I think I'd trade for him, but it's not off to a good start.
He looks dynamic as heck.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's just not the best, but Washington's been relatively soft against the run. I think they're giving up 4 yards a carry, over 100 yards a game. This is probably the best matchup he's had, right? Because he went against New England week 1, and then LA week 2. So two good defenses. Yeah, this would be the best matchup he's had so far this year. But he looks good. He's bouncing off tackles. He's dragging dudes. I mean, I want to know how much of his production is strictly him right now. A lot of it, I think, probably like 90%. So
their blocking has been so bad.
Right.
So bad.
That can improve, though. I mean, sometimes these guys need
just early in the year. It takes time for these new offensive lines, new schemes to gel. It'll take time for JT, but he's going to be just fine.
How about our guy Dylan Lobby out there finally? It was only
that was annoying. Oh my god, I was so annoyed by that.
One little catch, but he looked good on that. I thought that was nice.
No, he did. No, he looked good. I just was annoyed. I have a ton of JT bags, so that was slightly annoying. But they were getting smoked in that game.
Well, how concerned are we about Brock Bowers?
Brett, what did you think? Because I thought he looked really slow off the line of scrimmage last week.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I don't think the separation numbers were great either. They tried to – do you remember the play they hit on the Kansas City Chiefs last year? It was like kind of like a delayed go ball from the slot where he runs outside the numbers.
Yeah.
They basically tried to hit that in that game.
Yeah.
It just –
I remember that. I remember that route.
Not looked the same, that's for sure. So, a little concerning.
Yeah. Well,
he's playing with their huge brace, like a Gronk-like brace out there.
Yeah. I mean, Graham, this Jacoby Myers is going to freaking eat.
Yeah. He's the most underrated receiver in fantasy. I have a stat that like over his last 17 games, 18 games, he's like wide receiver 15 by fantasy points per game.
Crazy.
Like you would just never expect that. He's locked in. And Bowers will be fine. This might be a multi-week thing where he just needs some time to rest, rehab, but this is a short week. I've got Bowers on a number of teams. I've also got Myers on a number of teams, but you got to keep playing Bowers and just kind of take the lumps at this point.
Unfortunately, I was all in on Myers and I freaking bailed when he, made those trade demands. Now I regret it. But anywho, let's move on. I think we're good with the Raiders. Let's go to Broncos Chargers, marquee matchup here. Brett, I didn't watch it back. It looked like Bo Nix, though, played a lot better last week.
Yeah, a lot better. I also think they tightened up they kind of tightened up what he was able to do a little bit too. a little more diligent with the play calling, a little bit less him at the line of scrimmage, making things happen. So,
okay.
Just a little observation, but yeah, he definitely played better. I noticed they're working in Pat Bryant into the rotation a little bit too now. But Troy Franklin, he popped in that game. He's popped in both games actually. And I actually really like him in this matchup. Chargers are another team getting gassed by slot receivers, and Franklin looks really good, like really smooth route runner, which is true when he came out.
Yep.
It was kind of surprising he didn't get on the field much last year. So
yeah. Who do you like better, Mims or Franklin?
This week, I like Franklin. I mean, I was way higher on Mims coming out, and I think he's got more explosive upside. But Franklin, just as far as a chain mover go, and we were just talking about Jacoby Myers, very similar player. Troy Franklin is so. He can win downfield a little bit, but just the reliability in the short intermediate part of the field over the middle of the field, it's so good, so solid. So
it seems like he's like playing through contact fairly well, Franklin. I mean, I interviewed him. He's not a thick guy at all.
No.
Like he's pretty damn thin. Nice guy though. Graham, are you biting here? Or is this, Sean Payton here? Sean Payton might troll us and just alternate weeks with these guys.
Yeah, that's the thing is Sean Payton's the anti-Sean McVay. Like, just play your best players, man. Franklin is clearly their second best receiver. I liked him quite a bit for like best ball. I didn't expect him to be like a consistent weekly player, but he just gives them more than Marvin Mims. I mean, Mims at this point is like a scheme, touch, deep threat guy only.
Yeah.
And this past week, Trent Sherfield and Marvin Mims ran the same amount of routes. So, I mean, that kind of tells you exactly what they think of Mims. Evan Ingram, it's over. It's very over. I was kind of holding a little bit of a candle after they traded Vele, and I was like, oh, maybe he's like for sure their big slot receiver. Nope. Ran 44% of the routes last week. If it's rational coaching, this should be heavy Sutton, Franklin with Mims mixing in, and their 11 personnel sets. But it's Sean Payton. He loves to kind of change it up every single week. And I mean, it's good for Bo Nix, kind of throws a wrench at the defense, kind of gives them different looks and kind of changes things up. But like, yeah, for fantasy, I think it's just Sutton. That's where I'm at. Like Franklin in deep leagues, definitely pick him up, but it's just still Sutton to me.
It's like a Charlie Brown, Lucy football deal with Payton. I feel like too, because he's kind of a hard ass, old school, old head, that he might be doing this based on how they practice.
True. Or very cutthroat. You make a mistake, you're out.
He seems like that to me. I think it's more the latter than the former.
Right. Well, Brett, you and I talked about well, actually, before we move on to the Chargers, your thoughts on RJ Harvey. I stupidly went on a prop because I got into my head that he was going to hit 32 freaking yards. But, Dobbins is holding it down right now. But any thoughts on Harvey? I mean, it's just slow going. We just got to wait for something to pop.
Yeah, I mean, Dobbins looks good, man. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He looks really good. He is the NFL all-time leader in rushing average, so I guess that shouldn't shock us. It's really just is Dobbins going to stay healthy or not question at this point. I mean, I think Harvey will slowly ramp up too, even if Dobbins continues playing well. I think, ideally you get both guys going, but I don't think Harvey's done anything wrong for what it's worth. I think he looks good on the field. It's just a matter of, Dobbins is more reliable. He's a veteran.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dobbins, with all those injuries, the body's taken a lot of tolls here. I don't know if we're holding this up all year. So another good game or two, but you could be damn sure I'll be having him on my trade article.
Yeah.
Brett, back to you with your thoughts on I know you have Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, seeing a little Surtain out there. What do you think with the Chargers? And as I asked you before, they are a passing team now, right?
They are. They're completely like Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh have morphed. Justin Herbert started the season last year on the injury report. About week 8, he came off. And then ironically, from week 8 to week 18, they led the league in pass rate over expectation. That's continued through the first 2 weeks this year. They're leading the NFL in pass rate over expectation. They're also really struggling to run the football, even when they want to, which is just another feather in the cap of Herbert. I picked Herbert to lead the league in passing yards this year. I'm all in on that even more. I really like these guys from a prop standpoint too. Over 235.5 for Justin Herbert this week. Ladd at 50.5. Keenan Allen at 48.5. I think Surtain's going to travel with Quentin Johnston. Herbert averaged 260 yards against Denver last year, and I know they're a good pass defense, but this is a pass-heavy, pass-focused team. They're going to drop back a lot, and so I think Herbert probably has a really, really good game, and those props for Ladd and Allen they're small, so I like them both.
Graham, the running back whisperer, how worried are you about Omarion Hampton? Maybe you're not worried at all. Again, I'm no scout, but I thought he was a little stiff, quite frankly. I actually like Judkins a little bit more than him, but are you worried?
That's what I wrote up. I said Hampton, he's just a bulldozer. He's a power speed guy. The elusiveness, though, is questionable. And we've seen that, he's a rookie playing in his first 2 games in the NFL. It's moving fast for him right now. I'm not concerned. Really, long term, I still think this is his backfield. Although, I mean, Najee, to my eye, looks good. He had a nice catch and run and a dump off. They also gave him some of the cleanup carries late in that game. So, maybe Najee plays his way into a little like 60-40 timeshare for the next couple of weeks. This is a good spot, though. Like we've been saying, Chargers have not been able to run the ball, but the Broncos, Brett, you were on this last year. They're not a good run defense to start this year either. 4.6 yards per carry allowed. Not giving up any explosives, but a lot of like sustaining runs. So hopefully this is a kind of a get right spot for the run game here.
Am I crazy or does Najee look small?
Small?
Yeah,
I think he looks
yeah.
about the same to me.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the Chargers
Could be
jersey. I feel like
uniform.
Hampton looks small.
They're slimming. The color scheme is
You'd
slimming.
be
for them.
shocked at colors and slimming and angles. Yeah,
They said on the broadcast that Najee's playing at like 240. So
Well, that's what he was in Pittsburgh, so
Yeah.
not small then. Jerseys, Hampton's 230 plus as well, and they
Yeah.
both look small to me. So I don't know.
it's that black Pittsburgh jersey. I guess adds like whatever. Let's see here, Brett. Your closing thoughts on him, Aaron Hampton? Only 2 games.
Yeah, everything that's been said, I agree with. My biggest concern with him was just like Graham, a little stiff, little lacks creativity in the open field.
Right.
NFL spaces are tighter. He's going to have to learn how to navigate that. The lateral quickness just really isn't a thing. They probably need to get away from zone runs with him. More duo power counter, which you have seen them working that in. So,
right.
And that's a Greg Roman staple. He'll figure that out. I'm not worried about them figuring out the run game. It will come.
You know what name came to mind when I saw him? And I don't force anything. Just let's DeMarco Murray. Just
Murray was pretty stiff. He was an upright runner though. Hampton's not like an upright runner like that though.
And Murray was a pretty good receiver. Let's go next to freaking Chicago hosting the Cowboys. There it is. Well, we talked about this earlier with Caleb, probably not a zone guy. Cowboys played a lot of zone. I don't
play
know
only zone.
Yeah, they haven't played man all year.
All zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, your thoughts. I mean, what anything going on here? Like Colston Loveland. I know people are jumping off of bridges with him.
I like Rome this week.
Yeah.
Not because of a zone man thing, but Dallas has given up 14 yards per attempt on targets to outside wide receivers, 80% completions, and a passer rating of 141.
Trayvon Diggs.
It's over.
Bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
And that's the thing with the Eberflus defense. It is zone heavy, but if you're running a vertical against this zone, whether it's cover 3 or cover 4, it's basically turns into man. And I think Rome is going to go take advantage of Trayvon Diggs pretty easily. 28% target share too. And I know Caleb struggled. If he continues to struggle on this game and they can't get it going, we're in trouble. Dallas has no pass rush and no one that can cover. They just gave up 450 yards to Russell Wilson, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So.
Javonte, I thought he looked even better in week 2.
Oh yeah, he looked way better. And maybe that was a matchup thing week 1 against the Eagles, just not a lot of running lanes. Javonte looks really good. I just missed on this backfield. I was thinking, man, Dallas is going to be pass heavy. I don't know if there's going to be a back here that really matters all year, but I was just wrong. Javonte's not only a bell cow, but he's looked really good. Bears defense has just been bad, both against the pass and the run. To your point, Brett, if Caleb doesn't play a little better this week, we will have the Tyson Bagent conversation at some point in the midseason.
It's already started actually, but yeah,
I think you're right.
I went there last week.
Yeah, no, we did. I thought that was a bit early, and Caleb had some nice moments, but it's the same inconsistency with him, man. I was just going to say Chicago's implied for the fourth most points this week, tied with the Bucs. A lot of confidence in the Vegas implied totals in this team, and it's really just like Dallas is that bad. So if you've got Caleb, I was saying stream him last week and hold your nose. It's kind of the same thing this week with Caleb. It's like he's going to run around, he's going to scramble a little bit, even though the Cowboys don't play any man coverage. It's kind of the same thing. This is just like this Cowboys defense. We're just going to be picking on them all year.
Real quick, what are you seeing with the backfield? Anything? I mean, are you hating Swift and liking someone else, or are you just hating everyone?
The Manung guy stinks, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I never got the Manung guy kind of steam that he got a little bit in August. I'd like to see Roshan Johnson. I just don't know if he's healthy. Johnson, I liked him a little bit coming out, but he's been dealing with this foot injury since like the first week of August. He's basically like not practiced. Yeah. Swift is just the same guy. I mean, he's been the same guy his entire career. He's just tries to bounce too many runs. When he gets clean blocking, it's okay, but the Bears just have not been able to block it up very well. I think it's Caleb Williams, same inconsistencies, same poor decision making, same off target throws and stuff. But it's also, I mean, he does not have a complimentary run game, and at this point in his career, he desperately needs a complimentary run game, which the Bears they have not been able to do. So That's a twofold thing with Williams. It's not just, the same old with him. It's they just have not. I mean, they're the worst running offense in the NFL right now, and it's not close.
Meanwhile, over for the Cowboys, start him if you got him, because Jalen Johnson's not going to go, and Goff and the Lions just dropped 50 on their asses. So CD, Pickens, Ferguson, Dak, roll with them, sleep like a baby, sleep well. Let's move on to Arizona at San Francisco. Brett, I'm a McCorkle Jones guy.
Yeah.
What did it look like last week?
I made the argument on my show yesterday that Mac Jones is Brock Purdy with an arm.
Wow, less mobility.
Yeah, no, I think maybe more mobility.
Really?
Move. Yeah, Mac can move.
Yeah. I mean, he's maybe not as creative as Purdy's a very creative quarterback. Jones probably doesn't have that, but he's definitely fast when he runs.
Straight line, maybe.
Yeah, straight line speed. He can scramble a little bit. Probably. Brock will make those crazy plays where he's like Baker Mayfield, where he's scrambling around, then throws a ball 30 yards downfield. Like, I don't see Mac really doing that, but Mac ran the offense, man. he just ran the offense, and I think that's really all we can ask for when a backup quarterback's on the field. So, but he looked good. It was the Saints, they stink, but the 49ers are freaking 2-0, and like they've had horrible luck this offseason. So I thought it was going to be a retooling year for them, and they're sitting there at 2-0.
Yeah, I felt like if the Niners had drafted Mac Jones, he'd still be here. Like, he'd be the starter. Like,
very good chance of that, yeah.
How about McCaffrey? Like, doesn't look good to me.
I mean, he doesn't look the same guy, but the role's crazy.
Yeah, the role's crazy. But Graham, would you entertain the thought of moving him while his value's real high?
I'd have to get a huge haul because right now, he's the RB1 in my mind. Yeah, he's lost a little bit of a step. I haven't seen the same level of elusiveness out of him as he had, but it kind of doesn't matter when you're getting the ball this often. And it seems like Brock Purdy, if he's not back this week, he'll be back the following, and like this offense will be fine. So McCaffrey's like one of those, like, Scott calls them power law players, and he kind of is that power law player right now, just simply because, he's maybe 80% of his former self, but this volume is just insane here. I mean, he's the entire offense.
Week. It's crazy.
Brett, back to the Niners in their passing game. What were your thoughts on the roles of Juwan Jennings and Ricky? Could be a little bit of Mac Jones picked Jennings as his favorite target. I'm not that worried about Ricky, but certainly Juwan Jennings deserves to get his credit. I know he's a little bit banged up this week, but do you have any concerns about Ricky after last week?
No, I really like him. The game plan called for Juwan to be more involved than Ricky. Just the way the Saints were playing Ricky, he was getting a lot of extra attention. I don't know if you even saw it. They ran up, like, Ricky was in the slot with a corner over him, and they ran up Justin Reed, like, in a sprinting head start to press him, just to make sure he couldn't get off the line. So he was pseudo getting double teamed a lot in that game. And so you're giving Juwan one-on-ones. He'll win those. So,
I think getting some respect.
Yeah, getting some respect. Exactly. And he still put up, 4 for 56.
Yeah. Hit his prop.
Yeah, I still cashed my prop on him, so it's all good.
Well, Graham, I'll turn the floor over to you. Wax poetic about Kyler Murray, because I'm sick of this guy.
Man, it's Bryce Young kind of gave them that game in the first half, and the Cardinals almost then lost it because of this pass offense. He's been the same guy ever since his rookie season. We just haven't seen the progression with him. He's good outside of structure. I think he's got a lot of arm talent. It's just the same thing. It's like, man, it's the same thing with Kyler. Bottom of the line, like bottom line here, like, this is a Trey McBride passing offense. Their stuff over the middle in terms of just beating zone coverage is pretty good. And Trey McBride is, for my money, the best player against zone coverages right now, and for tight ends at least. And this coming week, man, they're going to play Niners, Fred Warner. It's a great matchup. Strength on strength, Fred Warner versus Trey McBride. The one thing I want to note, like Marvin Harrison's usage is much better this season. Pulled it up in our fantasy points data suite. He's running way more horizontally breaking routes. It's at 46%. Last year it was, I think, around 35, 36%.
Right.
Kyler is up and down as a vertical thrower. I'll just say that kindly. Yeah. He's up and down as a vertical downfield thrower. He had a nice one against the Saints.
Right.
He's missed a few for sure.
Kind of like George Pickens expanding the route tree a little bit.
It is, but it's like this is Trey McBride's offense, man. Like he just earns so many freaking targets over the middle. So at this point, like I keep writing Marvin Harrison up as just like a flex play every week. Like we want this guy to be a good number 2 receiver in fantasy. I continue it's just not going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen this year.
I think he's probably a matchup guy. I kind of like him this week for what it's worth. I actually got him right week 1 and 2. I'm going for 3, and I do kind of like him here, Brett. I mean, I'm not scared about the Niner corners, as you mentioned there, and Fred Warner is a badass, so maybe he can slow down McBride. Any thoughts on James Conner? Again, trying not to panic, but man, Benson looks freaking explosive.
Yeah, he does. Benson's it's very similar to an Amari Hampton. Big, fast running back. Not a ton of wiggle, but yeah, he looks good, man. I don't really know. I'd probably defer to Graham on this one. I'm concerned about Conner. Just it seems like his role is dwindling a little bit.
Yeah.
Which he's not a overly explosive guy. So if his role is dwindling, I don't know if that's good. I mean, obviously it's not good at all, but it could be really, really bad.
The main thing for me is like Benson taking most of the passing down work. Last week, Benson was at 55% of the routes. Conner was at 28%. Like,
well, how's that even a thing? Benson was terrible in the pass game in college.
Yeah, I know. He was not good in pass pro.
They're looking for explosive plays.
That's exactly right. They're looking for that run after the catch ability. And Conner is a very good player through and after contact, but I think it's a twofold thing. Connor's in his 30s. Like they want to get this guy. They have aspirations to, play in the NFC wildcard game. They want to get him healthy throughout the season. So take some of the load off with Benson. But yeah, it's like John said, they're looking for a little bit of an explosive element in their pass game. And Benson's that guy right now. I mean, for fantasy, we're kind of looking at like a compartmentalized split. Like this is like the worst type of backfield split where you have one guy who's like the early down ball carrier and you have another guy who's, siphoning some of the early down work, but then taking a lot of pass down stuff. Like I'm out on Conner. I think this is kind of it for fantasy. We were hoping he'd be like a high end RB2, but it's looking like more like a flex play, I think.
Well, let's move on. They're looking for explosive plays in Arizona, and the Chiefs have been looking for those for 3 years. Chiefs at Giants. They're getting a little bit with Thornton, but maybe we get Worthy back this week. I was thinking about this game over the weekend. I'm like, how the hell are they going to move the ball? And I'm like, Mahomes going to have to run. And I'm like, why didn't I play that damn rushing prop? But where are you with Mahomes in this offense right now, Brett?
It's gross. It's really, really gross. I think Mahomes threw 5 deep balls before he finally hit one to Thornton the other day. I'm starting Daniel Jones over Mahomes in the Fantasy Points Dynasty League going forward.
Can't blame you.
Yeah, I can't blame you, especially because it's not like Daniel Jones isn't running either. So I was going to say Mahomes has some rushing upside, but man, what's crazy is the Giants have been the worst run defense in the league so far. They've given up like 6 yards a carry, 178 yards a game. You would think that the Chiefs would just try to settle into a run game here to help Mahomes out. Right. Will they though? Probably not. They've refused to do this every week. We've talked about this, and it just seems so obvious to me. But they're going to sit back and throw 35 passes between the line of scrimmage and the 5 yards downfield. So
to your point, I tried to. Maybe I'll end up being wrong, but I put Isaiah Pacheco's at buy low because I'm like, you know what? At this rate, they're not making the playoffs. Like they're going to be terrible. I mean, their schedules.
This is the biggest must-win game they've had in the regular season in a while because their schedule coming up. They have Baltimore the week after, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, Denver. I mean, they could fall into a massive hole.
If this is me personally, I would be listing Rashee Rice as the biggest buy of all time.
I did.
This offense, like Xavier Worthy's probably going to play. He's going to play with a harness. It's like Dalvin Cook, George Kittle, T. Higgins did in the past. Like they're going to try to get this guy on the field because like they have to. It's not just the deep threat. It's like they've got to get some design touches, get somebody with some juice around the line of scrimmage because Marquise Brown got bodied by Cooper DeJean last week. Tyquan Thornton, Juju, like it's just Travis Kelce. Like these guys just don't have the burst anymore. Rashee Rice is going to average like 14 targets a game. Like when he comes back, it's going to be a lot of Rashee, and especially like the team quality is it's not the same as it was. It's not. Their defense isn't as good, so they're going to be throwing even more.
O-line always a little suspect.
Yeah, I've been trying to trade for Rashee in some leagues, and it's not going so great. I think everybody's kind of seen it the same way I am, but yeah. I mean, Rashee is a great buy right now. If you can somehow get him for like 90 cents on the dollar, like in a trade, maybe somebody's struggling 0-2, go out there and try and get Rashee Rice. But that's where my head's at.
Here's a hypothetical for you, Graham. Not that we do this on this show, but if you have Travis Hunter in Dynasty, but you have a win now team and you really want Rashee, what do they have to put with Rashee to get Travis Hunter? Or would you even do it straight up?
I like Rashee Rice over Hunter in Dynasty straight up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would do that straight up in a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Legal troubles behind him. Like we've seen what this offense is with him. Like it's a Deebo Samuel type role where he just eats against zone coverage. He's an absolute monster after the catch, and this offense is super, super pass heavy. So yeah, I totally would want to be buying Rashee Rice right now. That's for sure.
1,000,000%.
I mean, it's over for Kelce, y'all. Like,
yeah, it's over.
Brett, you were saying Hawkinson's route running looks sloppy. I think Kelsey's looks even worse. Like Zach Ertz looks better.
I got to
old tight ends. Like
he has the highest ass for tight ends right now, but it could just simply be the tree he's on is favorable to that. I got to go evaluate that because that's crazy.
Yeah. Graham, you I forgot. Were you a Cam Scattaboo person?
Nah, not really. I thought he looks like the same player to me. He's like just an absolute bowling ball with
exactly. Just
very
throw him out there,
burst.
Find the touches. He'll scratch, he'll fight, he'll claw, he'll do whatever it takes. But I do kind of like him. But yeah, he's certainly. I mean, we're not calling him a jag, are we?
No. Okay. He's not a jag. It's not like. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco to me looks like a jag right now.
He's always looked like a jag to me, but that's a
I mean, Pacheco had that run in 23 where he was like RB15 for fantasy, and he looked pretty good. And then just ever since that injury last year, he's just not been the same guy. Yeah, Scottaboo looks like the same exact player to Arizona State. Not a lot of burst in terms of like north south, but he's shifty. He can he can run through anybody. He's great in pass protection, super competitive in pass protection. That's never been Tyrone Tracy's deal. This is going to be. I think it's going to be Scattaboo and Tracy splitting this backfield for most of the year, but Scattaboo getting a lot of like the high value touches in terms of the goal line stuff,
targets and goal line carries.
Yeah, probably getting a little more in the passing game too because he is a better pass protector. I will say this is a tough spot. Like Chiefs, they're big dogs. Giants are obviously going to probably have a letdown after just smoking Dallas, and the Chiefs, while their defense isn't as good as it was in the past, like they're still really good against the run.
Wan'Dale Robinson is he's holding some value here opposite Malik Neighbors. Theo Johnson is not that good. And then finally, Detroit at Baltimore. Brett, you are Mr. Detroit Lions. Yeah. Are the Lions equipped and ready for this passing attack? I think they'll probably handle Derrick Henry pretty well, but what about the passing attack?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, if I'm being quite honest with you. This is probably the worst Ravens D-line we've seen in a long time, and so I think that bodes well for Detroit with the offensive line issues. Those young guys still gelling a little bit. I think they should be able to run the ball very well against Baltimore, and then pass pro should be fine too because Ravens have no pass rush outside of Matabweek, and so I think all that should be good. Detroit's defense has played awesome in the second half in both games. It's the first quarter, the scripted plays, they're getting a third down. They just can't get off the field. It's been very frustrating. It's some of that is like Kelvin Shepherd, the way he calls defense is like when you have a mobile guy, we want to eliminate the threat of those legs hurting us. We're going to force him to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. To his credit, Caleb Williams didn't complete a single pass on the move last week, and he only scrambled for, I think, like 9 yards. So mission accomplished. Lamar Jackson's a totally different animal, though.
Right.
So I don't know that you can actually contain him. If they're going to do that contain rush on Lamar all game, I have a feeling Lamar's going to just absolutely destroy them. So we'll see. Should be – I mean, you remember the Lions-Bills game last year? It was what, like 48-42 or something like that?
Yeah.
We could get something like that in this game, a 35-31, a 42-35, something like that. So
highest total on the board for sure. Any concerns with Jameson Williams' role? Because, apparently you got to get Tesla on the field. I mean, come on. But I don't know I love that kid, though. But, I mean, maybe he's not a threat to J-Mo. But, I guess some people expected more. I thought it was a good sign that he came through on only 4 targets in a bad schematic matchup.
Yeah, J-Mo, if they're going to see a lot of saggy too high, it's going to be Amon-Ra's day. If they see a lot of single high, you're going to see J-Mo get involved. They haven't really I was in camp a lot and I saw all the packages they had for J-Mo, tons of slot use. They haven't really unleashed that yet. I think that's probably coming soon. I mean, Dan just talked about it the other day. They obviously in a perfect world they'd get the ball to J-Mo more, but there's only so many targets to go around every game, and Amon-Ra was absolutely on fire the other day. So
yeah, no doubt. And then real quick, are you cutting Mark Andrews already?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's over.
What the hell, man? Yeah,
it's over.
I mean, it's over.
At the end of the day, I mean, he's barely playing a full-time role. They're going to get Isaiah Likely back. I think Likely is an awesome stash right now. He's like, I think 75 or 80% available. I saw in Yahoo leagues.
It's like 85.
Yeah, he's a great stash right now, especially in Yahoo leagues or ESPN leagues where you have an IR spot. You can just put him on your bench. I think he outscores Andrews for the rest of the season.
Can I just ask why you think that?
I mean, for whatever reason, man, Andrews has just not been the same player since he had the tightrope injury. And I know our separation metrics still look good, but like it's a Lamar Jackson thing. That's just the function of like how you have to play Lamar and the space that he generates through his legs and also the run game. Second, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So from like week 2 to week 18 last year, Andrews outscored Likely by 5 points per game.
Yeah, that was all touchdowns though. So he had 9 end zone targets, scored on all of them. That's just like was bound to regress. And now he's not playing. Like the route share is, what was it, 59% week 1.
Yeah.
This past week it did come back up to like mid 70s, but he's not earning targets on those routes.
Yeah, I'm also just not a Likely guy, so I'm a little biased here. I don't think he's a very good player personally. So
yeah,
but yeah, I get it. The Andrews not playing a lot is concerning with Likely out too, so it's only going to get worse.
Well, just the way they play, like Andrews, if he's not earning targets now as kind of like a move tight end, how is he going to be earning targets with Likely, back on the field? Plus Flowers is playing like out of his mind great right now. This is the best I've ever seen Zay Flowers play.
The way the counterintuitive NFL works, though, watch Likely return, and then now Andrews starts scoring touchdowns.
I made that argument on the morning show with Joe this morning because Andrews is having to play both roles. Like he's like Likely is the chip guy, he's the pass pro guy. Well, Andrews is he's having to do all the chipping now. He's not the move tight end. They don't have him in motion anymore. It's him coming in, having to chip the defensive end, and then get into his route. Well, that like he's not a catch and run player. That's Likely. So he's having to play Isaiah Likely's role. I actually do think Likely returning will help Andrews get into that more downfield intermediate route running role that that he thrives in. But whether he gets a target volume or not, I guess we'll have to see. The touchdown regression's for sure a thing. So
yeah, you look at the first reads, Flowers is at 44%. That's second most, only to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Bateman has 2 more first reads than Andrews. I mean, this is like it's scary hours for Andrews, man. Like he's been a target earner his entire career.
Yeah, Hopkins has been good too for them.
Yeah,
and he's hurting Andrews. He's gotten a lot of the downfield red zone stuff that Andrews.
Yeah, that's true. Great red zone threat, one of the all-time greats. Another big Zay Flowers game, Brett.
Yeah. He's pretty matchup proof at this
point. I wanted to ask you, Brett. I mean, the Lions play a high rate of man coverage. That did come down this past week. There's no way they play that much man this week against Lamar, right? Because I mean, he'll shred him.
True.
Yeah, it really depends, man. It really depends on how their front four handled contain. If they have to commit a fifth body to contain Lamar to keep him in the pocket, then you're going to see that man rate pretty high. The Lions, it's worth noting too, they've had a lot of MAs in the secondary. Terran Arnold, I don't know if you heard Kelvin Shepard. He basically called them out, like, if you don't know the play or if you're hurt, you better get out of the game.
Yeah.
So I think they got to tighten that stuff up. When they tried to go to zone last week in Chicago, I think the Roma Dunes touchdown was a busted coverage in zone. So yeah, I think it really depends on that contain rush. If they can keep it with four guys, then yeah, you'll see zone. If not, it's going to be man again.
That is a wrap-a-roni on the week 3 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. I thought that one flowed pretty damn well, fellas, quite frankly. We didn't really belabor a lot of points, a lot of great information in an hour and 35 minutes. So I will wrap it up right here. Good luck to everybody in week number 3. Of course, make sure you're tuning in to the channel for all the other content. And I will be doing my Hansen Sense article. Please read it. It only takes me 39 hours every single week. So without any further ado, for Brett and Graham, I'm John. Once again, good luck in week 3, and we'll talk to you next week here at fantasypoints.com.